What's up, guys? Yeah. Just got back from the first fall swap meet. So yes, I wasn't working on the Buick today, but gotta go shopping. All right, so swap meets for me are a lot of fun. I always end up with stuff, whether I necessarily need it or not, but the idea is to not spend a ton of money and build your stuff cheap, because prices keep going up. It's not getting any easier. So here's an example of some things I found today. First thing is just a two-wheel drive shaft. Believe it or not, getting harder to find good ones that are straight. I don't care what it was from. I was told afterward it was from like an 85 El Camino. Don't care. I'm going to shorten it for something, and eventually I will do a video to show you how to shorten your own drive shaft for free instead of spending hundreds to have somebody else do it. I picked up a couple brand new mufflers. Obviously they're different part numbers. One is a 3-inch with two 2.5-inch outlets, and one is a 3-inch in, 3-inch out, and offset. Only $15 each. Am I going to use them? I don't know. I'm sure I will at some point, but for that money, for brand new in the box, and I mean brand new in the box, mufflers for $15, even if they're only 30 new, half price, I'll take them. I'll use them. The drive shaft was $10. Can't beat that. Picked up this big electric fan. I have a thing for electric fans. It seems like every swap meet I go to, I buy an electric fan. I prefer factory type fans, Hayden's or Ford or, GM, something factory. I don't like aftermarket stuff. I like factory parts that are made to go 100,000 miles plus. And this happens to be a Ford unit, big. And actually the size that if I decide not to use a mechanical fan on the 55 Buick and go electric, this would be the one. And I've already tested it. It works. $10. Can't beat it. Next we have, kind of iffy on these, but what I bought was 2 sets of, these are 7-inch factory Jeep headlights. And what's neat about them is you can make those work in an older car that used 7-inch sealed beams. You just use, there's little conversion harnesses they sell that plug into the back of this and go to your traditional style plug. I put a set of these in my 41 Cadillac and they worked fine. The only reason I'm a little iffy on them is the look. They're still pretty stock looking, but believe it or not, just the 7-inch sealed beams are not sitting around all over the place anymore like they used to be on the shelves. So I got 2 sets of these and I spent $25 for both sets. So you're talking $12.50 to put a pair of I don't know, I won't call them HID, but H4 type bulbs in your older car and make it have better headlights. Next thing we got is this pile of metal. This is a brand new in the box 4-link kit. All the brackets, tabs, bars, adjustable joints, full kit. Somebody bought, never used. $80. Can't beat that. It'll get used somewhere. And let's see what else we got here. I grabbed some AN lines with real Russell fittings on the ends, not Chinese. This is real stuff with the R on them, if I can find it. There it is right there, the R on the fitting. These are actually transmission cooler lines. Might even be long enough to use on the Buick, but they will get used. $5. You can't buy real good fittings for that. Good deal. And I also bought that I put away a bunch of sockets and ratchets, which you can never get enough of when they're cheap. And then lastly, I bought this stuff, and I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I got some old beat looking Sunpro gauges, oil pressure, water temp. a Autometer boost gauge, again, kind of ratty looking, and an external fuel pressure gauge. It actually goes to 100, which is kind of crazy because most of these things only go to like 20 pounds for their carbureted, but this one must have been on a fuel injection setup because it goes up to 100 pounds, which is pretty cool. With the AN line, AN4 I believe this one is, and all I would need is an adapter to go to my fuel rail. I was thinking, and again I'm torn on this, should I make the 55 Buick look a little racy? Like, not like hot rod brand new racy, but old school, like maybe it was an old drag car or an old race car. Should I put these old gauges in it where you might be able to see them? I don't know. I mean, this fuel pressure gauge is pretty cool. I would mount that up on the cowl outside the car. And this older stuff, you know, I can make a panel, put it under the dash or in the dash. I don't know. If anybody's watching this, let me know what you think. Should I keep it dead stock hubcap looking, you know, like somebody looked in the window of the car, they would not have any clue that there's anything there? Or should there be a few gauges there just to have them or hide them? I don't know. I'm still undecided, but I only spent, oh boy, I don't think I spent more than $20 on all these gauges, maybe $25 total on all these gauges. I think that was it. Maybe it was 30. I think this one was more. Maybe this was like 20. So I probably spent like $30 on all those gauges. That's it. So if I don't use them, who cares? One thing, if you are shopping for old gauges, mechanical water temp gauges have this bulb on the end. Make sure it's there. If this capillary tube is cut, the gauge is junk. Doesn't matter how cool it looks. It has to connect in the back there, and if it's cut, it's junk. In fact, let me show you how to test it, and we'll find out together if this gauge is actually good. You and me, all of us together, let's see if this $5 investment was a wise one or not. I have a heat gun, and I'm gonna put the heat on the bulb on the capillary tube and see if the gauge moves. If it moves, then the capillary tube is good and the gas is still in there and it works. If the gauge doesn't move, the tube is broken and it's junk. Let's see. Let this heat up. Alright, I got this pointing at the capillary tube there. I don't know. Guy told, whoa, okay. What kind of, maybe it was a little sticky. Sort of come back down and hit it again and see if it moves a little more linear. Guy said it still works. I have a feeling it hasn't worked in a long time. Let's just see. I'm just going to wave the heat gun at it. Oh yeah. Yep. It's getting hot now. Alright, take the heat away. Water temperature is something you want to be pretty reliable. Both these dials on these gauges look like they're skewed a little bit. Maybe in this panel they stuck them in a little bit bent. I don't know. I'll have to look. I just want to see this come down lower than 140 again. Okay, it came back down around 100. I just touched the bulb and It came right down. I'm just going to wave the heat at it, see what it does here. Looks like it's a winner. Take the heat away. Get a little heat. Cool. Let's skip the spot there. Alright, looks like it's a winner. So, if I decide to use it, it looks like it'll work. So now I gotta decide whether to use it or not.